Hi, my name's Quang Nguyen. I'm the executive chef of Cool World in Greenpoint, and today I'm going to show you how to make Vietnamese curry with fried chicken. So first we're going to make a brine for the chicken, so we're going to start off with some water. Brining the chicken is going to introduce some flavor as well as keep the chicken moist throughout the cooking process. This is a little bit of fish sauce. We'll go with some salt. This is a little black pepper. It's going to give it some spice, and then a little brown sugar. It won't really give the chicken any sweetness, but it will kind of balance out the brine a little bit. And a little bit of soy sauce because I'm into like umami action. Yeah, and just whisk until everything's dissolved. You want the salt and the sugar dissolved, and then you should be good to go. So in Vietnamese curry, traditionally, you always get the drums of the chicken. But as far as braises and stuff like that, I like dark meat. Dark meat tends to take on a braise a lot better than white meat. White meat tends to, if you overcook it, it turns kind of mealy, like kind of into cat food. So like, that's not what you want. You want dark meat. Dark meat is the way to go. We'll let this brine, and we'll let it brine, ideally overnight, but if you can get it at least 4 to 8 hours, that's the best. We're gonna start off this marinade with a little bit of buttermilk. Buttermilk is nice for fried chicken because it has tenderizing powers. And then we're gonna throw in a little bit of soy to kind of reinforce the flavors that we put into the brine. Also add in a little bit of fish sauce. I always use Crystal hot sauce because it's my favorite. And then we're gonna start adding in some of our dry spices. We have a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne. The secret ingredient is MSG. Growing up in New Orleans, there is a huge Vietnamese population in New Orleans. Vietnam has a huge coastline, which means that everybody loves seafood, and that's why you find, Vietnamese communities in places like New Orleans or, on the East Coast in South Carolina or Orange counties. And then what comes out of that is, its own food culture like Viet Cajun and stuff like that. So you end up with crawfish that's cooked a certain way, all those things. So next in the marinade, we're gonna add in pickle juice, and then we're also gonna add in a little bit of egg white. And just throw it in. And then last but not least, a little bit of vodka. Alcohol, it evaporates quicker than water does, so it helps out with the frying process, and it gives you like a flakier, lighter texture. All right, so the chicken's been brining for about 8 hours, and now we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna throw it in the marinade. And then we'll let this sit for at least 4 hours, up to overnight, ideally. So while we wait for the chicken to marinate, we're gonna start our curry. We are gonna start it by making some annatto seed oil. So we're gonna start off by heating up some oil. I'm gonna drop in the annatto seeds, and we're just gonna wait for this to get hot to get the seeds to release their essential oils. This is quintessential to, I think, a lot of Vietnamese curries. You'll see, if you get Vietnamese curry, a lot of time you'll see this this broken red oil at the top, and that's usually what this is. Tiny seeds that'll collect. Look at that color. So now we're gonna start our curry. We're gonna take this annatto seed oil. We're gonna make some roux. This is gonna be our thickener for our curry. I like making roux this way and then just reserving the rest because you can reuse it later. So now we're at the point where the flour is toasted. We're gonna put this on the side, and we're gonna start sweating out our veg for the curry. We're gonna start off with some lemongrass. I like the idea of taking your annatto seed oil, and we're gonna get it hot, and then we're gonna get the lemongrass to, kind of flavor and season the oil so that everything becomes aromatic with lemongrass. We're just gonna beat this up at the bottom, kind of open it up, and this will kind of activate all the oils and all that stuff inside the lemongrass. Throw it in here. While this is coming up to heat, we're gonna start chopping up our other aromatics. Start with a little bit of garlic. I like garlic in just slices. You don't have to mince it. Ever since I worked in restaurants, I've always gotten along better with the guys in the kitchen than I have the people in the front of house. Not that I don't like people in the front of house, that's not what I'm saying. I always like helping the guys out, like cut stuff, chop stuff, make salads and whatnot. When I fell out of love with working in the front, everybody's like, well, there's no other place to try it than, you're in New York City, so you might as well try it. Let's cut some shallots. Shallots will be nice in this. So now we're just gonna throw in some shallots, get that sweating. Let's cut some onions. Let's season our aromatics. A little bit of salt is nice. And if it ever looks dry in this pot, we can always add a little bit more oil. Let's throw in this red chili. This Thai bird chili will be nice. So let's toast our curry powder. We're gonna throw a little bit in. We're gonna let this go, create a little bit of fondant in the bottom because caramelization is always nice. So we'll take our chicken stock and kind of deglaze. As you pour, just kind of scrape the bottom of the pot. I like roasting in the pot carrots and potatoes and kind of creating that fond before we sweat out the vegetables, but I kind of jacked that up, and so we're gonna do it now. So let's start off with a little bit of oil. We're gonna cut our potatoes and carrots up. We're just gonna get like nice caramelization with a little bit of the curry powder, and this will kind of reinforce the flavor once we add these back into the braise, and so that'll be another dimension of flavor. Our potatoes. A little bit of salt is nice. And then we're gonna throw a little bit of curry powder in there to toast the curry. So we'll just throw this back in to braise once the curry is closer to being done. Now that these vegetables are roasted, we're gonna set this aside. And then now's a good time to taste our curry. Cool, so salt is nice. We do have to add in a few more ingredients. This is where the sweetness is gonna come in. So we're gonna add in our coconut, and then we're gonna season it. Do a little bit of fish sauce, and then some brown sugar. All right, now we're getting simmer. Our curry's been cooking for about an hour now. Just throw these guys in. Cool. So we're gonna let this cook for about an hour or so. So now we're gonna make some fried chicken, my favorite. So let's start with some AP flour. We're gonna do some potato starch. And this is chickpea flour. We have our starches. Now we're gonna add in some of our dried spices. This is onion powder. It's gonna be garlic powder. There's gonna be a lot of the same flavors that we had in our marinade. Little bit of cayenne, we don't want too much. Black pepper, and a good amount of salt. Everybody's favorite, the secret ingredient, MSG. Our chicken's been marinating. Now we have our dredge. Let's get it out. The three things, like I said, texture-wise, that's most important to fried chicken, to me, are the meat, the breading, and the skin. So you drop a little bit of the marinade in there, and you kind of create, I don't know, somebody told me that they're called craggles or something like that. It's basically like texture, and it's the flaky stuff that kind of flakes off when you fry fried chicken. It's all the spiky parts, and it's the best bits. So we're gonna dredge this chicken. We're gonna go right in the dredge, and then we're gonna go right in the pot. Let's throw some thighs in. I don't really have a technique for it, just like press it, and then we just drop it straight in. All right, so we've been frying the chicken for about anywhere from 13 to 14 minutes. I'm gonna pull the drums because they're ready to go. Come out, that looks nice. So as soon as they come out, let's season with a little bit of more curry powder, would be nice. And then we're also gonna season it with, I'm a huge fan of tahini. So now that our fried chicken's ready, or it's resting at the moment, we're gonna finish our curry. So let's start building body with our roux. Just gonna add in a little bit at a time. And just make sure and whisk it while it's boiling. That's nice. Ladle some of this guy. And we're just gonna garnish. We're just gonna take some cilantro and just rip it up. If you'd like, you can also throw in some more annatto seed oil, but that's, that's totally up to you. Here, we can just throw on our fried chicken, and you're good to go. Curry is ready, fried chicken's ready. Traditionally, when you eat Vietnamese curry, they give you two options. It's usually, do you want a baguette, a Vietnamese baguette, or do you want white rice? So there's those. That's for you, whichever one you want to do. If it were me, I would just dunk it straight in and just go for it. Throw it in. Put a little curry on top. You just go for it. It's fucking good. The curry is nice. It's nice and pungent. It's like very spicy, not like spicy like spices spicy, not like heat spicy. It's nice. It's creamy. It's nice and sweet. And your chicken's really crispy. The meat's very tender from our marinade. Yeah, it's everything that I want out of this. For the recipe, click the link below, and you can come and visit me anytime at Cool World in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. This is a joy. This is the one.